representatives seen this contract? Has it been approved? I mean, why are we being asked to sign this now? I mean, I'm just saying, I'm saying that you must put these things all in context. With regard to the ICC Champions Trophy of this present, in this present context, I think you were talking about the 2020. Now let's go to the Champions Trophy. Those squad terms were never put to the persons who had withdrawn their services with regard to the Bangladesh series. A team was announced. The players who were not available for the Bangladesh series were never offered squad terms because they were not in the 30 selected. And during the mediation, one of the attorneys for the West Indies Cricket Board said that they would not have been offered because they were under a grievance procedure. So I am totally at a loss.
Andy. Let's take another call.
Andy.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening to you.
I have two questions for Donna. I'm hear her using the terms, we have a letter or view. Who does she represent in this whole matter?
Well, I am one of the attorneys for the West Indies Players Association. I thought that was made clear at the beginning of the program.
I didn't get that, but I read it from what you were saying that you have that responsibility. Let me pose the second question.
Certainly.
Tell me any cricketing country who will allow players to do what the West Indies players have done in relation to South Africa, in relation to Sri Lanka, and in relation to Bangladesh. Tell me any country, cricketing country, that tolerate that kind of behavior.
Well, it's not the first time that players have gone on strike action in terms of, when you talk about Australia, you spoke of South Africa, which is the 1998 scenario, I believe. You spoke of Sri Lanka. That was a situation where there was a contracts dispute, that they did not go on strike. It was a contracts dispute, as is the question of the Bangladesh series. And there are a number of countries who have experienced difficulties with players and contracts. New Zealand comes to mind. Sri Lanka comes to mind. If you will remember, the Minister of Sport in Sri Lanka had to intervene to say that, certainly with the IPL just recently, that they were prepared to say that Sri Lanka did not have to go and tour England, that they would be able to go and play in the IPL. It has happened in Pakistan. It has happened in many cricketing countries. So I think I've given you the examples that you have asked for. This is not new. In many cases, you will remember the Kerry Packer scenario, where many players in all of the cricketing nations at that time had a difficulty with the decision taken by the ICC and the member bodies, who determined that if you go and play in the Packer series, you would not be eligible to play in your home territory, and you wouldn't be able to play test matches in the ICC competition. So this has been happening for some time, and I think it is as a result of changes, commercial and other changes in the sport. The game moves on, things change, and I think the West Indies Players Association has tried very much to improve its operations and to bring its activities in line with all the other international professional cricketing associations in the world.
Andy, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, before we take another call.
I say this without fear of contradiction. Before the West Indies team went off to England, we knew there was an English tour and there was a 2020 World Cup, ICC World Cup. We do not negotiate with the individual players. We respect the WIPA. I say to you, without fear of contradiction, after the 21st of July in Guyana, the contracts for the Champions Trophy, when the players said they were available, we said, okay, these are the ICC squad terms contracts. Listen to me very carefully. Again, I say without fear of contradiction. The same contracts that on the morning against Sri Lanka, Chris Tetley said, if you do not sign, we are going to disqualify you. This is a fact. This is no guessing. This is a fact.
Were you there?
I was a member of the board at the time, and when Chris Tetley contacted, he was trying to get hold of Tony Howard. Then he got hold of Roland Holder. An email was sent to the board. We were in a panic because we understood the Oval was packed. The ladies' semi-final was being played. We, the West Indies Cricket Board, would have suffered. We were totally exposed.